So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas.
Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people. Y'all, we leaving right now.
Puff, we love you.
There was once a time where Kanye West, Ye, Yeezus, whatever the fuck you want to call him, well, he was considered one of mine and your favorite artists of all time. Some say the GOAT. A lot has changed since then. What has stayed the same is that at least half of the albums on this list, well, they remain significant to this day for defining the era of hip-hop that preceded them. So I'm going to rank them from worst to best, as when it comes to this discography, it remains quite an interesting conversation to see where each of the eras, shall we say, stack up against each other. Now, it's important to remember that this is my opinion after all, however, I am right. So in last place, number 14, we have Jesus is King. And the reason why this one lands so low is because, well, this isn't an album. What this really is Kanye was like, fuck man, Yandhi, Yeezus 2, this isn't hitting. What would be much more? This bullshit.
It's Sunday service with Kanye West and his choir.
I'm actually really surprised at the mayhem because I thought a lot of people have written Kanye off, so I was really surprised to see so much support for him tonight.
For the last year, the rapper's religion has taken center stage. He recently released a gospel album titled Jesus is King.
The same thing that people are using to say, well, we don't know if he's sincere, is what God is using to be able to save more. That you can see how low I had sunk.
Like every Kanye album, it's unfinished as fuck, and even being re-edited and re-released on release night. The final product, one singular banger, and that is Follow God, and even that song is unfinished. Like just when it's starting to get going, the song ends. Like there's an entire verse missing. So, bottom tier. Now for number 13 and 12, I'm going to be putting Vultures 2 and then Vultures 1. I'm going to talk about these albums together because honestly, they are interchangeable and just how fucking shit they are. I will say at launch that at least with Vultures 1, not only did it come out mostly on time, but the production, the beats, all that was actually pretty solid. From a craft point of view, it actually felt like a real album, which you can't really say for all of Ye's recent releases. However, the problem here is that lyrically it's abysmal. Thematically, I don't know what the album is trying to say, and what it does is no different than anything Ye's rambled on about in the last few years. Hack Fantano posted a review on this that I don't agree with by any stretch, but that being said, I think it speaks to this album's quality that we're even at the point where major pundits refuse to review it. Of course, a lot of that had to do with the following clip, but I mean, for better or worse, this could be the best thing to come out of this album.
You're not Hitler, you're not a Nazi, you don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
I see good things about Hitler also.
The whole thing is just completely devoid of any substance whatsoever, and really I think the whole entire point of why we're still in this saga is because Narcissist West wants to compete with Taylor Swift. Different eras, 3, 4 different fucking albums. Kanye's just so far up his own ass that he's not even in touch with pop culture enough to be able to do the same kind of riffs and cheeky, like, I don't know, banter that you kind of define Life of Pablo and Donda. I'd say he should have given Ty more autonomy to, like, I don't know, have a presence on this album other than it being the Kanye show, but kind of a good thing as bro kind of walked away from this mess, like, pretty career intact.
Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one?
Now, speaking of collabs, number 11 is Kids See Ghosts. Now, I don't have much to say about this album other than it is forgettable. It is maybe the most forgettable album of all time, really. I dare you to name songs other than Fourth Dimension. You can't. Reborn is also a good one. But I do think it's evident here that Mr. West was spread a little thin 2018 with the release of this and the album that we're going to talk about next. Number 10 on my list is Ye. And I'm sorry to Reddit and all the stans who think this is a subversive masterpiece or some sort of meditation on mental health. It's not. It's not. There's 7 songs. It's objectively the worst Kanye has put out since 2019. At number 9, we have Donda. So Donda, where to begin with this train wreck of an album? I don't know, let's start with the fucking pretentious ass black square album cover. Like, seriously, what's going on with that? This, unfortunately, the album named after the Ye's late mother is, well, it's not good. Probably the fall-off point for Mr. West in terms of just recovering from a music career. What's weird is that this is a very slow, somber album, and yet it features a bunch of like trappers that, you know, Dirk and such, that, you know, you think would bring the heat, but they don't. Also, this has hosted probably the worst album rollout I think I've ever seen. Kanye West at his absolute worst, sheer fucking hubris, with the whole stadium, the fucking Pete Davidson yips, all that bullshit. This is when the fandom said enough in terms of late releases.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Now for number 8, and this is where things get kind of down to the wire, is where I'm gonna put 808s and Heartbreak. This album invented singing about love, singing about emotions, feelings, right? In the whole fucking medium of hip hop, right? We didn't have that before in the time of gangster rap and just anything that preceded it. So yeah, influential, started fucking Kid Cudi's career. Really it's X, Kid Laroi, Lil Peep, whole emo rap scene that a lot to this album. Now I will say, outside of a few bangers, this album doesn't do a whole lot for me today. Love Lockdown though, on lock. Now at number 7, I have The Life of Pablo, and really the reason it's made it this high is nostalgia, right? If you're a Gen Z like me, then you were bumping this shit back when you were in high school. That's really all it has going for it, because stylistically, it's redundant. Lyrically, it's trash, and well, this is really the start of the trend of Kanye albums where, you know, things didn't really evolve or innovate, maybe sonically, in any shit or form that past efforts did. So I put it down here, but I know some of you will beg to differ. Now, speaking of nostalgia, this next opinion may well get me shot, but I gotta do it, and that is number 6 is The College Dropout. And I know. The reason it's down this low and behind some other less favorable reviewed albums is, well, I think that while this, you know, it's fun, backpack rap, right? You know, good back to school vibes. These albums, it's old. We've heard these songs before. We've heard Through the Wire, All Falls Down, We Don't Care, like a million times at this point. And I would say overall for the album sound, I mean, it's bouncy, it's fun, but lyrically, how much substance is there? How deep does it really go? I don't know if it stacks up to some of Kanye's subsequent efforts. And so again, it goes just under the top 5.
I just tell the truth, and telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies.
Now, rounding out the top 5 is Graduation, and this album, it might just have one of the best track lists of any album ever. Really, there's back-to-back-to-back bangers on here. So why have I ranked it lesser than the other 4 albums on this list? Well, while this is a seminal victory lap, it is just that, a victory lap, right? The best Kanye albums, they innovate, they push the envelope, and I find this album, while, again, very strong, it's just more of what was so good about its 2 predecessors. Now, my number 4th pick is one that I just love talking about, and that is Yeezus. Well, what's there to say? I mean, other than everyone fucking hated it when it came out, but I would like to think that it's aged quite well when considering that Scott wouldn't have made 10 out of 10 albums without it. The synths, the minimalist production, abrasive textures, like the auto-tune. I like to talk lyrics, but really none of that matters when it just, the final product sounds this good. Also, Peggy, Tyler the Creator, Denzel Curry, to name a few, again, all would not exist if it weren't for the production masterclass that is this album. Now, at number 3, I'm going to be putting Watch the Throne, and all I'm going to say about this one is that this is the most Kanye album out of any of Kanye's albums, really. It doesn't matter that Jay-Z's on this, it's Kanye through and through, and some of the cuts here, like, I'm telling you, peak. So coming in at number 2, I have Late Registration. It's funny, most Kanye West albums are super flashy, in your face. This one, alternatively, is very low key in its presentation. Also, as a sequel to College Dropout, normally sequels are way fucking worse than the original. This one, however, surpasses it in every way. It has some of Kanye West's most iconic, amazing songs, such as Hey Mama, Gold Digger, Roses, which seriously, man, you gotta hit a bowl to Roses and you'll go to fucking space. It also contains some of the hardest bars Kanye's ever spat in songs like Diamonds of Sierra Leone, where like the verses there just fucking absolutely lethal. Consequently, I see no other place for this album than at number 2. So coming in at number 1, and this is not an opinion, okay? This is objective facts. It is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, probably one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time. And why is it number 1? Well, first of all, this is a spite album. This album came after Kanye's disastrous stint at the VMAs in what I believe was 2009, where, yeah, I mean, the clip speaks for itself.
Much for giving me a chance to win a VMA award.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
Bro locked himself away on an island in Hawaii and locked the fuck in, and you can tell in some of the, not just songs and cuts from Kanye himself, but what he gets from his collaborators. Fucking Rick Ross gives one of the hardest, most iconic verses in hip-hop history.
Glory, glory, oh God Almighty, we lift our hands and give you praise. Glory, glory, oh God Almighty, we lift our hands and give you praise. Glory.